Hey, thanks for waiting. If you listened to the last minute and a half to 2 minutes of just, the music there, waiting for me to pop on. My name's Bill. What I would like for you to do is to make yourself a home on YouTube. That's what my channel is all about. That's what I would like to be teaching to a particular group of people, and maybe you fit in that category, and that's absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, has to do with a strategy uh, that for using ChatGPT to create content for your YouTube channel. And I'm going to start right off by telling you that this was a huge mistake, the way I started this process. I'm going to share with you a chat that I had with ChatGPT over several days. Started it, came back to it, started it, came back to it. And I started it as a temporary chat. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, don't do that. You can always delete that particular chat later on. But I started as a temporary chat, and then I said, "Oh, I really want to explore this, but I don't want to go through this all again." So I did the old-fashioned way, cut and paste into a document, created all one document of the whole conversation that I had that started this process off, and then pasted it into an actual chat where we can save all the content and work forward. And so I had to give this to ChatGPT, and I said, get yourself up to speed on this. I don't know how long it's going to take, 0.3, 0.4 seconds for you, but get up to speed on this. Appreciate it if you just, do it as quickly as possible, which it did. And then we went on from there. So I'm going to tell you how this started. I follow I follow a lot more than that, but four in particular, different channels on YouTube that do approximately the same thing that I do. And I learn a lot from these people. I mean, a ton. And I'm going to call them A, B, C, and D. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'm just going to tell you A, B, C, and D. But I will tell you this. What I was doing was I was wondering about, how do these people make money? How do these people do this? So let me just, I'm going to see if I can do this. This is not one of the ones that I follow. I follow this one, but this has nothing to do with anything about it. But I wanted to show you something that you can get. This is, I'm talking about this blue line where it says View Channel Stats. And this is a 1/64 scale car racing channel that I don't miss a single race. They're fantastic. But they've got 932K subscribers. And this blue thing is a channel stat that's created by vidIQ, which is a service that I subscribe to. And the second one in, where it says 3K to 9K, is their estimated monthly earnings. Now, estimated means exactly that. From what I understand, it's very widely estimated, but they give it their best shot. Okay? They give you a good idea. Their average video is 13 minutes length, and they make anywhere from 3 to 9K, $3,000 to $9,000 per month. So I got to thinking, well, what did these guys make? And so I opened vidIQ and I went into these different channels of these people that I follow, A, B, C, and D. And they varied widely. And I'll tell you a little bit why. Because A is a guy who's got around 90,000 subscribers. Okay? And he's making $400 to $700 a month. That's what it said at the time. Okay, sure. That's A, 90,000. B has 22,000 subscribers and was making more. Estimated by a service that is giving an educated guess. And then C had 48,000 subscribers, and the estimated income was a little over about the same as A. So A and C were about the same. And then there's D. Now D only had 17,000 subscribers, the lowest of the four, and he was making more. Now, let me just put it this way. The guy that I'm following, D, that was making more than the others. He had another channel. He has several other channels, I understand. And he started this one to prove his own point of monetizing and growing. But he's got a ton of experience behind him. His other channel has over 250,000 subscribers. So he just started this channel, only has 20 some videos on it, and is already making, he's got 17,000 subscribers, and he's making, so he knows what he's doing. So kudos to him for a ton of experience and then doing this. So I follow these 4 guys. And I'm thinking, well, which one am I like? Now, these are guys in my niche. Which one of these guys are best like me? So I started asking ChatGPT, and I'm going to go, I need to go back over here. There. I started asking ChatGPT. I said, of these 4, which one so far in what I'm doing do I emulate? Am I most like? And which one would give me the best opportunity to grow? And it came down to A and D. B and C were fine, but they said, okay, pick 2. Let's go with this. And ChatGPT, please understand, ChatGPT knows my channel. I do a lot of research within ChatGPT about my channel. Should I call him Rob or something? Or Jimmy? Anyway, I'll call him Chatty. So Chatty knows an awful lot about my channel. Just about everything, because I've created, let me see if I can show this to you. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. Never mind. Let's pull that back over. We'll get to that in a sec. So let me think. Where was I? In ChatGPT, Chatty knows an awful lot about me and about my channel, about what I'm trying to do, and helps me to create, helps me to come up with ideas. But my ideas are always random. I get these thoughts in my mind, and I go, well, let me see what the chat says. And we start talking back and forth. And I say, that's a good idea, and let's develop this one thing. And it's a single idea. And I'm really wanting to get into a more strategic plan, which is kind of the title of this, a strategic YouTube strategy, and have ChatGPT work with me on that. So I'm thinking strategy, and I'm saying, okay, well, give me A and give me B, as it were. And I am looking over here at a couple of my notes, and I'm going to start to share my screen in just a bit. But there's a lot of this at the top that talks about the money aspect, and that's not what this is for. That's not what this particular chat is for. And I'm trying to find something that just makes me feel like I'm ill-prepared. It's a very long chat that we went through over several days. And yeah, just keep going. Where are we going? Thanks for hanging with me. By the way, I'm in Colorado. It snowed. We got about 2 inches, and I got my first shovel in of the year, and I didn't use a snowblower. But now I find what I was looking for. The 2 different channels. One talks about the idea of big but ineffective. Big but inefficient. Sorry, big but inefficient versus small but dialed in. And I said, well, which gives me the best chance for the best growth? And ChatGPT went through a whole bunch of stuff, A and B, and what this means and what that means. And it can be as detailed as you want it to be. And basically came up with, you're more like B. You need to dial in and not try to be super big and blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's a good idea. We went through a whole lot more of the money, and I'm scrolling. It actually gave me a 12-month plan, but it was based on the money aspect. And I decided to change the chat from money to how can I be more like the B personality, the small but more influential, small but more effective and more efficient. And that's kind of what we're looking at this point. So I said, how could I become more like a bee? And maybe I'll share this a little bit. Now, if you're watching on a phone, you can't read this. I apologize, unless you have the most amazing eyesight in the world, which I do not. But it said, well, here's what you need to do, Bill. It says, think like bee, who you are and who you're for. And I thought about that. I said, very good. And then it said, here's what I see about your channel thus far. And it kind of gave me a purpose statement for my channel. I've already got one, but this is kind of what it said. It said, I help faith-inspired creators over 40 start and grow a YouTube channel step by step so they can actually reach people and not feel left behind. And that's kind of what I am. Over 40, newer stuck creators that want clarity and progress and B-style content. And they came up with 3 areas. Your niche, it looks like 3 main pillars. Build everything off these 3. How people can start for absolute beginners, how people can grow or get traction, and how people can stay consistent, depending upon how much time they have per week and all these different things. So then it said, it put together a 12-month plan. And I'm going, really? Structured videos like B. And so the structure is there, and I kind of follow that to a little bit. And raise your RPM, and that's rate per minute. And then it got back into the money. And I didn't want to necessarily go into the money. So this is where it started to lean into what the topic of this live is. And that is, what do my next 10 videos focus on? That's what I asked chat. All the different chat that we had, plus all that chat knows about me. What do I focus my next 10 videos on? And so Chad said, these 10 will push you toward channel B-like content. Clear niche, real problems, over 40 creators, searchable, and high intent. So here's the 10. Just kind of like the titles. Start here video. A gear reality check video. Your first 5 video roadmap. Channel and branding basics. Titles and thumbnails for non-designers. Best camera fear. Beat camera fear. 7 is consistency with a real life. Your first 100 subscribers is 8. 9 is analytics without overwhelm. And number 10 is money reality check. I'm going, okay, there's my next 10 videos. But from one of these 4 guys that I was watching, I watched one of his videos and gave a very clear idea of how do you take one video and make it 4 videos. So I was looking at 10 videos. I'm thinking, how can I make it 4 videos or 40 videos? Take 10, make 40. Makes sense. Now, I like the 10 suggestions that was given. Fits my niche, fits what I'm doing. But how can I make it into 40? And if you see right beside me here, there, I pointed the right way. That's pretty cool. Right beside me here. If I take one topic and I come at it from 4 different angles. So the 4 angles are this: solve a problem. That's one angle. Have an opinion, and a somewhat controversial opinion. People like controversy. So solve a problem, have an opinion, illustrate with proof, and 4th is tell a story. And then after that, he says, it's all still aimed at faith-inspired creators over the age of 40 who want to start YouTube. So I'm thinking that I really like that. So I could take those 10 videos that was suggested and turn it into 40 videos. And if I do 2 a week, that's 20 weeks. Suddenly, me thinking about what I'm going to do is, I don't have to think about it anymore. I really don't. So, solve a problem, angle. A working title, over 40 and want to start YouTube, do this first. And it gives me some points, some call to action. Second is have an opinion on the same thing. Starting YouTube after 40 isn't a weakness. It's an edge. It's an opinion. The third one is proof you can start YouTube after 40. Okay, even if you feel behind. So, illustration with proof. Proof you can start a YouTube channel after 40. And then the fourth one was tell a story. I started YouTube later in life. Here's what I'd tell you to do first. Now, that's 4 different angles on the same topic. And so I said, this is great. Do this for the other 9. And so it took the other 9 original ones that it suggested for me and created 4 different angles on each of these. And you're thinking, well, that's pretty good. And if I scroll down through, I said, please do the same for the second video on gear reality check and keep the same, solve a problem, have an opinion. So, if I read through these real quick, it would say, start YouTube with what you have. This is the angle, solve a problem. Start YouTube with what you have. Simple setup for creators over 40. The second one was stop hiding behind gear. The real reason you haven't started YouTube yet. That's an opinion. Illustration with proof. You don't need a studio setup. You don't need a studio. Real YouTube setups that started simple. Just you and a phone. And then the fourth one is tell a story. I wasted time obsessing over YouTube gear. Here's what I do instead. That's a story. I got a great story about that because I'm surrounded by a bunch of gear that I thought I needed, and I don't. But that's another story. So I said for the third one was the topic of your first 3 to 5 video roadmap. It gave me 4 for that. And we scroll down, and the fourth one had to do with banner and branding. A long story short, I had to do all 10 of them, which gave me 40 different videos. So I could say, continue to do the same from 5 through 10 without me individually asking you to do it. Boom. And off we go on a really long string. You can't read any of this because I can't read any of this. We're flying through it. I'm just looking for the next part of the process where I actually got to get a conversation in, where it finally stopped. But it's giving me what I asked for. It's giving me outlines. So finally I said, okay, next step. It's given me 40. I said, next step, reorder so that solve a problem is every 4th video. You see the pattern? Acknowledge before moving forward. So I said, okay, I want you to acknowledge the idea. There it is. I want you to reorder these. So in other words, instead of me doing 4 videos in a row about starting a YouTube channel after 40 and just hitting angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and I've just done 4 videos from on the same topic from 4 different angles. They're different, but they're the same. Okay, they are the same. So I basically said, switch it up. I want you to solve a problem on the first one, and then have an opinion on the second one, then post with proof on the third one, and then tell your story on the fourth one. But mix them up. So ChatGPT turned around and said, yes, I see the pattern. Every set of 4 videos ends with solve a problem. So the solve a problem angle becomes videos 4, 8, 12, blah, 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 yada. So it gave it to me, and it just gave me it gave me just what I was saying, where the topics, it says start here. That's the topic. And it says, well, here's the title, here's the opinion, here's the proof, here's the story, here's the problem. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way through 40 videos that I've got. And ChatGPT always asks questions. Hey, you want me to make something else out of this? Make a calendar style 10 to 20 week plan. And I said, no, I wasn't clear because because it's giving me 4 in a row and then 4 more in a row, all on the same topic, then a different topic from 4 different angles. You're following me. So, and I said I wasn't clear. Apologies. Always be nice to artificial intelligence. Think Skynet. It never hurts to be nice. If you know, you know, and you know. So I said I wasn't clear. Apologies. I said, week 1 is solve a problem. Week 2 is have an opinion. Week 3 is illustrate. And week 4 is story. But mix all 10 themes, but keep the order. Okay? So in other words, week 1 is always going to be solve a problem. Week 2 is always going to be have an opinion. Week 3 is always going to be illustrate with proof. And week 4 is always going to be tell your story. But it's going to take so it's going to take topic 7 and do the solve a problem first. And it's going to take topic 3 and do opinion. So I said, just shuffle them all up. Keep the order of those 4 angles, but shuffle the 10 different video ideas completely up so that I'm never really repeating the same topic. One week might be branding and the next week might be something completely different and from a different angle. But I'm keeping the 4 angles. And they say, oh, we got it. Okay. So this is what it gave me. A 40-week, because if we're talking 1 a week, a 40-week angle cycle locked in. Got it. So, well, what did I do? There we go. So, it locked me in. Week 7 is, so we've got the solve, opinion, proof, and T for story. SOPT. Don't know why. I picked T for story because S is solve a problem. I'm with it now. I'm right there, and it just gave me this. I somehow have this ChatGPT ask in the middle, right in the middle, and I'm not sure why it's still there. But anyway, you'll just indulge me. That's just where it happens to be on the screen, and I'm not going to touch it right now because I don't want to ask it any more questions. So you can see that the order, the angle is the same order, but the title or the theme and the focus changes from those 10 themes and focuses, and then gives me the title. So there it is, 40 videos that I don't even have to think. And so, of course, what I did was create a docx download so that I can print it out. So here it is. I've got the docx download of the whole thing. So then I said, and it's one thing to have these really great ideas and to come up with a schedule, but I said, you need to flesh this out into a full video. So I said, take week 1, flesh it out into a full video. And of course, ChatGPT is very, very appreciative, or shouldn't say appreciative. It just pumps me up a little bit. Maybe I told it to do that. Excuse me. But it said, love it. Let's turn week 1 into a full, ready to record video. So the structure is the hook, reframing credibility, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, implementation. And I'll write it as a word-for-word script. So here's how it starts. You're over 40. You're watching 100 YouTube tutorials and you're still staring at an empty channel. Like, where do I even start? If that's you, this video is your first step. No theory, no hype. I'm going to show you exactly what to do first so you can stop overthinking and finally start your YouTube channel. Suggest B-roll. It should suggest what I should put for on-screen text. Then the framing. Hey, my name is Bill McConnell and I help blah, 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 yada, yada. And it goes through it. Gives me B-roll suggestions. And I use a lot of B-roll because the more B-roll I use, the more time editing it takes. And I'm not against editing. It's just that my time is very limited. And it walked me through the whole thing. And this is an actual video that I have up. So if I were to go over here and view my channel, start here. Over 40 and want to start YouTube, do this first. That's the start here one right here. So I actually did this, and then I've got the second one up. Too much, so this is actually the second one on this plan, and I'm working through this plan. I don't have to think now as much about doing and coming up with a video and putting it up. ChatGPT took a concept that another channel does that it feels that I'm closest to, and that's a key. I didn't say just make me into somebody else. I said, hey, make me into just, take everything that you know about me and what can I do to emulate to some degree what the other guy does, but it's still me. See, ChatGPT can give you all kinds of ideas, but ChatGPT can't replace me, just like ChatGPT can't replace you in any way, shape, or form. You can have ChatGPT make short videos of you doing crazy things. I've seen a lot of people do that. But it doesn't. It can't replace you, your personality, your smile, your goofiness, your beauty, your demeanor, your own personal slant on life. Because when I did these videos, I wasn't just reading a script. I was following the plan, but I was interjecting myself into these. That's what I was doing. Straighten this puppy up. I guess it is straight. Fine. So that's what I've been doing. And that's how I made a 40-week YouTube content schedule. And then I have this particular chat very particularly start to build out one video at a time. And even after I get the build out and I start to put it together, I look at it and I go, that's not quite me. So I change it. I'm not just spitting out ChatGPT scripts. I'm looking it over and I'm saying, okay, now let's make this just a little more me. And ChatGPT, you can train to give you the output that you want. ChatGPT knows by now I've been using it for over a year now, year and a half, and it knows my style. It knows to some degree my goofiness and the things that I do. It knows these things. And so it starts to add that in, but it still can't fully say it's me. I add my own stuff. I add my own stuff. Now, that being said, that's how I created that, and that's what I want to leave with you. But if you've listened to this and you say, hey, I've got a question about this, put a question in the comments and I'll answer it. I look at it and I answer every question that comes to me. And here's the thing that I would rather do. The thing that I would rather do than ask ChatGPT for a list of 40 videos that I can do. There's a better way to do it, and it involves you, because if you tell me a video that you want me to do, I will interrupt this schedule to do your video. I've got a question. Bill, can you give me an answer? And I can say, I will do my best to give you an answer. I'll make a video out of it, and it'll interrupt this. It'll interrupt this whole thing. If I have questions from people that actually ask me questions. So if you have a question about growing a YouTube channel, or my byline is make yourself a home on YouTube. If you have questions about that, anything, whether technical or otherwise, if I'm able to answer it, I will make a video out of it, and I'll put it, in my channel so that you can have an answer to it. I'll even give you a shout out so that I can, if you want me to, so that I can answer your questions. And if you have other questions about ChatGPT, there was something that I was going to try, and because there we go. So I've zoomed out a little bit, and then I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT and open this up, and I will move myself. I'll move myself right here. See where it says ChatGPTs? It's got new searches. It's on the left-hand side up there, obviously, and it says ChatGPTs. I have a bunch of custom ChatGPTs. Now, some of these I got from someone that's teaching me ChatGPT. Highly recommend them. Absolutely fantastic. Ask me in the chat and I'll DM you. and tell you who he is. He has a group like that I've joined that I pay monthly, so that he does all the research, but he makes a bunch of custom chat GPTs and has taught me how to make, me and many others, how to make custom chat GPTs. So a couple that I have made is YouTube channel strategist. I made a custom chat GPT specifically to my channel and how I can be strategic in creating my own content and researching my own content for my own channel. And then I made another one that I call the YouTube Script Sensei. And it's a custom GPT that helps me, that helps take ideas and turn it into a script more in my voice. Again, something that I have to take and do some editing onto myself, because never fully trust 100% ChatGPT as yet. So I've made some different YouTube custom GPTs. Another one that I've got is up here a little further. It says, generate YouTube video titles. What's it called here? Generate YouTube video titles using proven frameworks. So I use them on a regular basis as well, especially when strategy is involved in creating some YouTube. So those are the things that I do. And if you have any questions about the custom GPTs that I use or have, or anything about growing your YouTube channel, I'd be more than happy. I would rather answer your questions than make up my own concepts and work from there, because what you're asking is more valuable for me to answer than me giving you things that I'm not 100% sure you want to know about. So that being said, I'm going to leave this for now. There's nobody in the comments that has asked anything to date. And so we're going to shut it down. I'll be here next Thursday. Looks like Thursday's going to be my day. It might change. I don't know. Apart from that, have a great weekend. If it's snowing, be safe on the roads, or just be like me. Stay inside. I'm Bill. I'm in Colorado. Take care.